Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel and to another pick a card reading. So, today's reading, we're just doing a general reading to see what it is that you need to know right now about your current situation that you're in. So, it could be about anything, it could be about your way of being. It could be something to do with a relationship. It could be something to do with finances or career or something to do with family. Whatever it is that you need to know, we're going to be getting some messages and insight into your current energy around the situation and some words of advice as well. The intention is to try and find out stuff that you don't already know about this situation, kind of messages from your higher self, but you'll need to take the messages as they resonate because this is a general reading and there's going to be a few people watching this, okay? If you would like to get a more personal reading that is tailored specifically to you, you can find the link to my website below where you can book in a reading with me. I think that's all you kind of need to know right now. I also want to say a very big thank you to those of you who have continued to support my channel and have booked in for readings. It's so much fun. I do other things beside tarot readings, but that's one of my kind of like most enjoyable things to do in a way. I mean, I enjoy all the things that I do, but tarot has got a special, I think, place in my heart, that's for sure. So big thank you. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, I would really love if you could support me by subscribing to my channel, giving the video a thumbs up, of course, if you enjoyed it, and feel very free to leave feedback and comments below and to share this video with loved ones if you feel to as well. All right, without any further ado, I'm about to pause the video and show you 3 different cards that you have to choose from for your message today. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, beautiful souls. So these are the 3 different cards that you have to choose from. So pile 1 is going to be protection. Pile 2 is stop. And pile 3 is isolation. So if you need a little bit more time just to have a think about which card you're more drawn to, I will get you to pause the video because I am about to start the readings. In saying that, if you're finding it difficult to pick a card, you might want to scroll down and have a look at the numbers that are correlated with the particular piles. That might help you, but I would also maybe just recommend going with the first one you're kind of drawn to rather than overthinking it. But you're the expert with this, so I will see you once you have chosen your pile. See you then. Hi, beautiful souls, and for those of you who chose the protection card or pile 1, this is your reading. We're finding out what it is that you need to know about your current situation, whatever that is. You'll just need to apply it to your situation because it's a general reading, and just apply the messages as they resonate for you as well. So we're looking at what you need to know about the current situation that you might not already be aware of, okay? And also I've asked for words of advice from your higher self about this as well, that's kind of linked to protection. No pun intended. So let's get straight into this. I feel like for most of you, you were probably drawn to protection because, this is really like the anchor card, right? And it means that you're either being divinely guided right now or you're really being called to set like really strict boundaries. So as you step into this kind of new version of yourself that's appearing in this reading, your energy is really highly valuable and not everyone or everything gets to have access to it anymore, is the biggest message I'm getting here. But let's have a look at the tarot cards as well. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. So you're really being asked to balance your generous spirit which is the Queen of Wands. And this can be man or woman, it doesn't matter, it's the energy. But you're really being asked to balance your generous spirit, because the Queen of Wands is a highly magnetic person. They're very confident and they're warm, and people are generally naturally really drawn to fire, right? However, with the Six of Pentacles, this is kind of warning about the balance of give and take, and you really need to protect your energy by making sure that you aren't pouring all of your warmth and resources into people or situations that do not kind of reciprocate the energy that you put in as well. And I think this is also saying to make sure that you hold your power and ensure that the energetic exchange that you have with anyone is equal. Because I feel like a lot of you are in the midst of a very big shift and evolution, especially with death here. So death and the Magician, this is like a really masterful conscious transformation happening for you, and death is really kind of necessary for the ending of a cycle and kind of shedding old skin. And when it's clarified by the Magician, this isn't kind of an ending that is happening to you, it's a reinvention that you're actively manifesting, right? Because the Magician is the alchemist. So you have all the tools to create your new reality, but you cannot bring the old baggage into this new phase that you're coming into, right? So make sure you protect your creative potential by fully letting go of what has already run its course, okay? With the Page of Pentacles and the Moon, I feel like a lot of you are planting new seeds in the material world. So whether that's through like a new job, through a business venture, whatever it is, but you don't have all the answers yet here, right? With the Moon, you don't have all the answers yet. And the Moon really suggests that things are kind of being obscured, or that you might be dealing with fear of the unknown. And you need to make sure that you're protecting yourself by moving slowly and trusting your intuition rather than just logic here. So don't rush this new beginning, okay? Wait for the shadows to clear before kind of making major commitments, is what I'm getting here. The cards we got for advice from your higher self, we got the Two of Cups, we got the Ace of Swords, and the Three of Swords. So let's go through that. And this is very interconnected with protection, okay? So this is really about protecting a valuable connection or your own capacity to love with the Two of Cups. So you must use the sharp, unclouded truth of the Ace of Swords to cut away what is causing you pain, grief, or heartbreak, basically. So if you've been holding on to emotional pain or a disappointing relationship dynamic, your higher self is really telling you to face the brutal truth. And the Ace of Swords is like the ultimate tool of protection, clear communication, mental clarity, and severing toxic ties, all right? And you cannot heal the Three of Swords energy by just kind of ignoring it. You've got to really speak your truth and set a hard boundary to protect your heart moving forward. And that's why we've got protection here as well. So pile one, the takeaway here in general is that you're entering a really powerful new phase of manifestation and transformation. And to succeed, you must manage who gets your energy and what you're putting your energy into, right? It's about waiting out the confusion as well before making practical moves, and to be fiercely honest with yourself and others about what brings you mutual love versus what brings you heartache, is what I'm getting here. So pile one, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it's given you clarity and or insight into your situation. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, or to follow me on my social media platforms, or to leave me a tip, you can find all the details below. But thank you for your ongoing love and support. I'll see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, beautiful souls, or for those of you who chose stop or pile two, this is your reading. Please remember that time is an illusion and energy is fluid, and so the messages that we're getting are in current energy, okay? Please also remember that this is a very general reading and that you'll need to apply the messages as they resonate for you. Okay, so stop. I feel like this is very much talking about the need for you to maybe really stop, kind of just to stop. I feel like there's something going on for this group where maybe you've been ruminating on something or doing something that is not helpful for you or others, especially for yourself. I feel like for some of you, maybe you're sabotaging things at the moment, you're over worrying about something, or you're just kind of in this space of having kind of reliving trauma, or like reliving conflict, or just reliving regrets from life. And I feel like this is a message to say, please please stop, you know what I mean? Because I feel like for a lot of you this is creating some unnecessary pain, but it's also part of the process, right? So there's no shame here at all. But let's have a look at your tarot cards. So 8 of Pentacles, starting off with the 7 of Pentacles. Biggest message I'm getting here is needing to really look at what it is that you're working on and reflecting on the energy that you're putting into it. I feel like some of you feel really alone with this. I'm being really drawn to the wolf here. Some of you feel like you're alone in whatever this process is for you. But for me, this is about you needing to reflect on either your work on a financial level or on a personal level. Take it as it resonates. But if we look at it as a general reading, it's like looking at and reflecting on the amount of energy that you're putting into something and what you're getting out of it or not getting out of it. I'm also being kind of drawn to say as well, whether this is helping you to shift from like an old paradigm or an old way of being that hasn't been helpful for you, okay? And whether this is something you need to stop or review. And then we've got the Hermit and the 6 of Pentacles coming in. So this is all about reviewing. This is all about reflecting and the need for you. This is a major arcana, which means it's karmic, which means this is something that's really important for you to do to be able to kind of move past the karma that's attached to this, right? And karma can be both positive and negative, right? So this is the need for you to really reflect on balance. What it is that you're kind of contributing, what you're not contributing, whether you're being balanced within yourself. And I'm really being drawn to this person here that's kind of like really begging, and I feel like this kind of represents you, where I feel like sometimes you can get very much trapped in your head and feel like a bit of a victim rather than kind of like asking for support or asking for help. And sometimes you don't even know what that is what I'm picking up here the most. And I think that's why the Hermit is here as well, is what I'm getting. So yeah, it's about like really reflecting on how balanced you are as a person, maybe how balanced your finances are, if you're giving equal, if you're giving equal, if you're taking and giving equally to something. And as I said before, this is a really important message that I'm getting for some of you. As I said before, whether you're playing too much of a victim, and whether like you need to reflect on whether maybe things aren't balanced in your life because maybe you don't have the ability to communicate your needs properly or appropriately, or it's just this feeling of kind of suffering that does. It's interesting how you've got the 6, the 7, and the 8. So it's about balancing. For some of you, it's about, is work balanced? Is what you're putting most of your energy into balanced? Is it making you happy? Is it helpful? And I feel like this is saying you need to stop and take the time to really think about this, right? Because it's creating a lot of pain. It's creating a lot of pain, and there's a cycle here that needs to end. And with the Knight of Wands, I kind of feel like sometimes some of you maybe are trying to avoid this end of this cycle by just kind of keeping on, if that makes sense. But I just feel like this kind of needs to stop, because I feel like sometimes you can potentially make decisions that aren't fully thought through, or that where you're kind of like influenced by passion, rather than kind of taking the time to reflect properly on this balance, because it's creating a lot of suffering for you, and I think it's taking away from your confidence as well, is what I'm getting here. For some of you as well, I feel like this is saying that you need to really start shifting this energy and moving out of it sooner rather than later, because I feel like some of you have been stagnating in this for a while. But yeah, so the messages, the words of advice from your higher self, we got the 2 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. So yeah, this is really clarifying this stop. This to me is saying you need to stop, and you need to like stop trying to guard your heart, stop feeling like you can't see things properly, because you probably can't see things properly, because we have the 9 of Swords here, which is all about being in your head too much. Then with the 10 here, being in your head too much, ruminating, stressing over things that you can't control. So it's interesting that you've got Swords and you've got Pentacles here. So I feel like for some of you, this might be a lot of stress about money. But the advice from your higher self is to really to put the swords down and to take this blindfold off and see what's really going on, because what's really going on is you're creating a lot of mental turmoil for yourself. So yeah, and it needs to end, because we have the 10 of Swords, which is the end of a cycle. So if you can reflect on this and reflect on where there's a lack of balance, and reflect on how this is like contributing to your own pain and maybe self-sabotage, and see and stop and take the time to put your swords down, open up your heart, and not just be stuck in your head. Okay. So pile 2, I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did doing it for you. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below. If you'd like to get a personal reading with me, or to check out my social media platforms, or to leave me a tip, you can find all the details below. Another form of support you can give me is just by giving this video a thumbs up. by subscribing. And of course, as I think I said before, feel free to leave feedback and comments below. Thank you so much, Pile 2. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, or for those of you who chose the isolation card, this is your reading. Please remember that time is an illusion, energy is fluid, and that this is a very general reading, so you'll need to take the messages as they resonate to whatever your situation or experience is right now. All right, lovely souls. So, isolation. So this is a really kind of, before getting into the cards, the isolation is really anchoring the reading, and it's indicating to me that the answers that you are looking for can't be found in other people's opinions or in the middle of a crowded, busy life. You need to be able to unplug and pull your energy back and go into, monk mode or the hermit mode for a little while to see your situation clearly, is what I'm getting here. Okay, but let's have a look at the tarot cards as well. So you've got four major arcanas here, which are karmic cards, which means there's karmic lessons for you to learn with this. So these are huge cards, the Devil and the Wheel of Fortune. So the message here is that there's a karmic cycle shifting for you. The Devil really talks about attachments, toxic habits, codependency, or feeling trapped in a negative loop, right? And the Wheel of Fortune clarifying means that the wheel is finally turning. So you're at a critical, destined turning point where you have the opportunity to really break a long-standing toxic cycle once and for all. And it's really time to recognize that, the pattern that's happening here, and to step off the hamster wheel is what I'm getting. Because I feel like whatever this cycle is, it's been happening for a while and it's been causing you a lot of suffering, and probably that bleeds out into your relationships and your experience in the world, right? With the Lovers and the Queen of Wands, what I'm really getting here is that the Lovers is really a card of like deep connection, right? But at its core, it's about choices and alignment with your highest values. So when it's clarified by the Queen of Wands, man or woman, it doesn't matter. This message is about choosing yourself, right? And if this is about a relationship or a partnership, you're really being asked to show up authentically, to demand respect, and not to shrink yourself to kind of fit in, and this is about taking your power back in a dynamic and choosing what really aligns with your soul. The Four of Wands and the Hermit, this is really finding home in solitude. So this combination really beautifully echoes the Isolation Oracle card, because the Four of Wands is the card of home, foundation, and celebration, but clarifying it with the Hermit, which is all about solitude and inner guidance, and that completely changes the flavor. So it basically means that you're finding peace and stability and a sense of home within yourself, and that you don't need external validation right now. You're successfully building a solid foundation here. One that's kind of like peaceful and behind the scenes and away from prying eyes is what I'm getting here. Your words of advice from your highest self. We got the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords. So the Two of Swords really represents kind of indecision, right? And being at a crossroads, or, deliberately wearing a blindfold to avoid making a tough decision here. With the Six of Swords, this is the card of like physically or mentally or both moving on to calmer waters and leaving kind of turbulence behind, right? So the advice here is to stop putting off whatever decision you cannot make, right? Basically stop putting off the decision, and you can't really move toward peace while you're refusing to look at the truth or to make a choice, right? So the isolation period here that they're suggesting is meant to give you the clarity to finally take the blindfold off, make the hard call, and sail away from, you know, whatever drama, toxicity, or confusion that's really been holding you back here. So the takeaway message here, pile 3, is that you're going through a massive spiritual upgrade, and you need to be able to isolate yourself so that you can clearly see and break a toxic cycle that's been holding you back. And by choosing your own independence and peace and making the firm decision to leave turbulence, right? You will find a profound sense of stability and happiness entirely on your own terms. So I hope this reading was helpful for you, pile 3. I hope it's given you the clarity and insight that you need. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you. I always enjoy doing the readings that I do. And if you'd like to support my channel and my reading, and if you enjoyed it, you can support it simply just by giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing, and also sharing this video with loved ones. If you're interested in getting a personal reading that is personalized to you and your situation, you can find all my details in the description box below. Thank you so much for your ongoing love and support, pile 3. I'll see you in my next reading. Bye.